Do you ever find yourself turning the television on, picking up the remote control, going to a streaming site, and then endlessly just looking for a film to watch? Why do we do this? When we're physical media collectors, why are we not watching the films that we're collecting? Let's talk about it today on the channel. So welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name's Matt, and this channel is all about movies, collecting physical media, and talking about the subject of streaming, collecting movies, all this sort of stuff. So if that's something that you really like the sound of, click the QR code that will be appearing on the channel. If you're watching this on the telly, it'll take you straight to the subscribe button, or just hit subscribe down below in the usual way. Right, let's get on with the subject. So yeah, have we becoming quite lazy now with watching films? A lot of us don't even go to the cinema now. We just sort of stay in our own homes and we wait for films to come on the streaming sites, or even some people will go to sort of illegal sites and watch films that way. That's becoming quite a big trend. A lot of people are doing that. There's some crazy statistics around that. This is how people are watching content now. But let's talk more about the sort of streaming side of things compared to the physical media collecting. Now, me being a physical media collector, I pick up 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs and the odd VHS. But even I'm finding myself that I'm picking up films but not necessarily watching them straight away. Now, that may be to do with my setup. Currently I do have sort of shelving in various parts of my house. I've got a project to try and build a dedicated shelving unit to try and get a lot of my collection in one place, and I'm hoping that's going to sort of help me sort of keep stuff in one kind of place, or maybe two, so that I can look through the shelves and then pick the film that I want to watch. But are we becoming lazy? Am I becoming lazy and just finding that I can watch films just by literally picking this up, clicking a few buttons, going on to Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus? The list continues. But do we find ourselves just constantly scrolling through these streaming sites, trying to find something to watch? We spend endless time just scrolling and scrolling, unless it's a brand new film that you've heard about, that you may likely go straight to that film and watch it. Often with catalogue films, you spend quite some time looking for this stuff. So why collect physical media? For me, I think it's more than just the movie. I do like to collect the editions, with all the extra bump in, collectible booklets, cards, packaging, all this sort of stuff. So there is that sort of side of the collecting for me. Now, I know a lot of you collectors out there are just interested in the movies, and I'd be interested to hear whether you don't subscribe to streaming sites and you're just focused on watching the films in your collection. How many times a week do you watch movies? Do you watch once a day, twice a day, more or less? I'm finding I might watch 2 to 3 movies per week now, sometimes on physical media, sometimes on streaming. I think we are becoming a bit lazy in some regards as to just picking up that remote control and just sort of, rather than actually getting up and putting a disc in a player. It's crazy, isn't it, that to think that for many years we always used to do that, But now with the convenience of streaming, we're just tending to just sit down and just using this. But it's not, I don't think it's great really, because it's kind of taken away from the movie experience. I don't know about you, but I find a lot of these streaming movies are very subpar, very average. Even the movies that are coming out of the cinema, you know, some of them are entertaining, some of them are just okay. So I'd be interested to hear, you know, what you think of this. How are you consuming movies? Are you just finding that streaming is more convenient? You're feeling a bit lazy, you don't want to get out of the chair, you don't want to sort of go up to the shelf, find a film, pull it out, put it in the disc player, press play. I think it's all individual, depends on the person, depends on your setup. I know with me, because I have films in various places, it's not always easily accessible to me, so I do have to go sort of looking for films. Like I say, I'm hoping with a sort of reconfiguration of things, it might make it a bit easier to see what's on the shelf. But my only concern is that I'll still get back into this habit of just picking up this remote control and just scrolling endlessly. Currently, I have 3 streaming sites that I have access to: Amazon Prime, Netflix and Disney Plus. Now Disney Plus is only on a 3-month subscription, and that is due to end in the next few weeks. There's not been that many films that I've watched on there, if I'm honest. I did watch Thunderbolts and a couple of other films, but there's not enough on there for me to keep subscribed to it. Netflix I don't subscribe to, my wife subscribes to that, but I will look on Netflix most evenings, but very rarely find that much to watch. We have Amazon Prime as well. Now I must say, I think I watch more films on Amazon Prime, but I do tend to find myself watching lesser known films made for streaming that are quite average, and you come away kind of thinking, well, I watched that film, it wasn't very good. Give you an example, I watched a film the other night with Sylvester Stallone in and Scott Eastwood. I got about 40 to 50 minutes into the film and I just found it incredibly boring. I turned off. And these are the sorts of films that are being made now, which are just dull and boring, but they star sort of great stars in them. But even the scripts are just being churned out for streaming. I think I need to get back to watching the films that I love and collected over the years. I think I've sort of lost out a bit on this, and I'm need to get back to watching these films in my collection. And what I'm hoping for is, with getting things a bit more organised, having a look at the collection as well, deciding maybe if there's some films that I don't want to have, just curating it and keeping the films that I love so I can watch them in the best possible way. I think we all like to watch something new, and this is probably why we do go on the streaming sites, to find something new, whereas what we collect are films that we've seen before. We may blind buy. I don't tend to do that anymore. I will reserve that for watching it on a streaming site, and then if I've really enjoyed the film, then I will pick it up. But yeah, be interested to hear your thoughts. How do you watch content? Are you finding you're not watching as much from your collection anymore? Are you just collecting films just for collection purposes? Are you actually watching the content, or are you just keep going back to streaming? It's something that's, when you stop and think about it, it's actually a bit concerning that we're becoming quite lazy in a way and not sort of looking at our collections and watching the films that we should be watching. But I guess we all want to watch something new. I do try to go to the cinema on occasion. my latest sort of release that I've seen was Tron Ares. I do plan to go and see Predator Badlands as well, but now cinema trips are few and far between. It's quite expensive to go to the cinema, so I can understand people wanting to just watch films on streaming sites or by other means. Illegal streaming is becoming very popular in the world today. There's a huge rise in it. A lot of people are finding ways to watch films illegally. You know, it's something for the movie industry to look at, but it's far easier now with you know, streaming, the internet and all the rest of it, to control this. But fortunately, this is why you're seeing maybe not as many people going to the cinema as they once did, unless it's a very, very popular film. I can imagine the new Avatar film capturing audiences once again and drawing people back to the cinema. It does happen from occasion. A few years ago we had the Barbie film. Loads of people went to see that. Oppenheimer as well. So it does happen from time to time. But generally, as a whole, a lot of these films are not being consumed at the cinema. They're just being consumed at home on the streaming sites. People are still picking them up on physical media, which is great to see. But I think as collectors, we do need to start watching more of the films that we collect, rather than just buying them, watching them once and just putting them on the shelf, never to be watched again. Just some thoughts. Thought I'd put this video out there, see what you think. Stick down in the comments below. See you next time.